What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the HOMES Brewery, and they're out of Ann Arbor, Michigan, and this is their Deep Depths, the Berry S'more variant. So they're calling this one a fruited sour that is blended with blackberry, boysenberry, cherry, marshmallow, cacao nib, and vanilla. It comes in at 6% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed, time of review. And this can is just over 18 months old. I want to give a huge thanks, shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and a viewer of the channel, Jeff, aka NoJinx, for hooking me up with this one. So big thanks to him. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies he hooked me up with. He hooked me up with a bunch of HOMES fruited sours, and he actually sent me a couple really old ones. The first one I reviewed, what was it, last week? Maybe a couple weeks ago, I forget when I posted that in comparison to when I'm going to post this one. But that one was almost 2 years old. It held up pretty well, and this one is just over a year and a half old. Now, there's a lot of different adjuncts in this one, and compared to their Instagram posts, there is some differences on what's actually in here. On their Instagram post, they do mention blackberries and boysenberries. They do say the cherries are sweet cherries, but they also say Meyer lemon on Instagram, and they don't mention it on the can here. And they also say that the marshmallow is toasted marshmallow, the cacao nibs are Ghana cacao nibs, and the vanilla is Madagascar vanilla. So yeah, really excited about this one. We're hoping that the adjuncts held up quite well. We will see. So let's crack this one open, get it into the glass, and go from there. Now, I love like berry flavored anything, and good thing I have my trusty paper towels here because my hands just got covered in fruit puree. Anyway, I love berry flavored anything, and when it comes to these fruited sours, yeah, you're talking blackberry, boysenberry, sweet cherry, and then, you know, basically you're trying to make a s'more on top of the berries. I don't know exactly how that's going to work or if it will work at all. I'm hoping it does. Let's see here, I poured the rest in just because a lot of times the head builds on these. We'll see if that happens here, and I don't want it to overflow. So yeah, anyway, that looks like a heavily fruited sour that has a bunch of different fruit in it. So, you know, blackberries, boysenberries, cherries, yeah, that has this deep, like, magenta look to it, purple. You can see the fruit pectin from everything. Can't see through it, murky, turbid. Had about a finger of, like, a light purple head that is now dissipated to a thin film. Hold it up to the light, can't see through it. Yeah, it's a heavily fruited sour. Skin nose. Wow, no, I didn't even notice that when I opened it up. It went everywhere. Yeah, wow, everywhere. That's crazy. We're gonna have to wipe this down after this. Like, good. Anyway, yeah, it smells like a bunch of different fruits. Boysenberry, sure. Blackberry, okay. Sweet cherry, yes, the sweet cherry is dominating. Yeah, big sweet cherry. Gonna be honest with you, I'm not picking up on any of the chocolate, not picking up on any of like the marshmallow per se. It's more of like a vanilla tinge. I mean, it smells delicious because those fruits are just, it smells awesome. But the cherry's leading the way. I'm getting a nondescript berry to it, but I'm not really picking up on the marshmallow, vanilla, or chocolate. It just has a slight vanilla kind of sweetness to the nose. Almost like a cherry cream type of aroma. Smells like it's going to be sweet, but going to have a decent tartness at the very least. Yeah, it smells pretty good. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again, Jeff. So, this is the second one I've reviewed from his care pack. And the one thing that I can say I appreciate about this Deep Depth series and most HOMES fruited sours, there is a nice high tartness, low sourness. That's what I recognized in the first one. And I'm recognizing here again. It's not mouth puckering, but it hits the back of the jaws that lets you know, hey, this is a sour beer. And I really do appreciate that one. I will say this. For all the adjuncts going on in this one, this is good, but I feel like I'm only getting a couple of them. Now again, this is just over 18 months old. Maybe a lot of the adjuncts and additives have fallen off, but while it's really good, it's not overly complex. Let's go body and mouthfeel. Body's like lower side of full, maybe approaching medium full, appropriate for what these are supposed to be. Even at 6%, they're supposed to have a smoothie-ass kind of feel to them. The mouthfeel, decent carbonation, approaching moderately carbonated. but it has a nice soft, or a nice smooth, creamy sensation. Not soft, it is moderately carbonated, but it has a nice smoothie kind of essence to it. The taste, what I'm really getting here is a big blast of sweet cherry right at the forefront. Then after that, I get a little bit of like a tart, seedy, kind of like blackberry. You could say boysenberry, you could say raspberry, something in that realm, like a darker berry. As it continues to pass through, halfway through the palate, there's a little bit, there's a skosh, dare I say a skosh of like a vanilla sweetness that hits. And then on the back of the palate, there's a semi to full dry kind of feeling. This doesn't have any bitterness, but there's a decent, I'd say, moderate acidity in the back of the throat. I'm definitely going to get heartburn / acid reflux from this one. Like I said, the tartness level or the sourness level, high tart, low sour, kind of in that realm. It lets you know that, again, it's a fruited sour. It's an actual sour beer. I think they just basically use kettle sours for this and then blend it with all the fruit puree and adjuncts. This is really good. It's really tasty, but I'm only getting a couple of the adjuncts. Let's say I'm getting half of them, and the intensity that they're providing isn't all that great, or you know, it's not that. It's like a lot of times when I have beers within this style, you can really get it. I'm really getting the sweet cherry here, but outside of that, the rest of the stuff I'm getting, like the berries, the seedy berries, and the sweet vanilla, it's nuanced, it's subtle, it's not, you know, there in spades. So this is good, but it's not one of my favorite heavily fruited sours. It's just pretty damn good. 6%, you can't tell. Okay, so what I appreciate about this one, I appreciate that sweet cherry. I appreciate the low sour kind of character of this one. I like the body and the mouthfeel. I'm also getting, I would imagine there is Meyer lemon in here. Despite the fact that I'm not saying it on the can, I'm getting this kind of lemony tartness on my palate right now as I sit here. And it's hard to believe that's coming from the kettle sour. It could be. It could just be the kettle sour. I feel like there's a little kind of extra lemon added. Regardless, I appreciate that. What I was hoping for is more of that s'more character. Outside of that vanilla, I'm not getting toasted marshmallow, I'm not getting chocolate. It's really not there. And then I wanted a little bit more intensity to the other berries, the boysenberry, the blackberry. Like, I want that because I like those berries. Like, I would love to taste them quite a bit in this beer, and it's just not happening. So rating on this, again, it's good. It's just fruit puree mixed with a kettle sour. So it's not bad. It's just, it lacks complexity. And that's what I was hoping for this one with all those adjuncts. So deep depths, the berry s'more, a variant, best I can do on this one. And again, it's gonna still get a good rating because, like I said, this is actually pretty fucking tasty. It's just not amazing. I'm gonna give this a straight 4 out of 5. Best I can do. I feel like the s'more kind of feeling to this one has fallen off to some degree. And that's a bummer, but it's over a year and a half old. What are you going to do? Price point availability. I'm pretty sure most of these deep depths are $25 a 4-pack, so Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong. And availability only at Homes. You can only pick these up at the brewery. So yeah, this is the second deep depths beer I've had. I have a couple more to try from them, a couple other fruited sours. But I have a feeling this is probably going to be the least impactful or my least favorite of the bunch. Just not a whole lot going on when you're talking about 6 adjuncts. And if you take their Instagram post for what it is, 7 different adjuncts, like, I feel like this should be a little bit more in my face, but again, it's a year and a half old. Maybe stuff has fallen out. So if anybody out there has had this one, Jeff, Phil, anybody in Michigan, let me know what you thought about this one fresh. Did you try it again aged? I'd have to imagine that s'more character was noticeable fresh to some degree. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe that's the issue to begin with. But I feel like if not, then makes sense. But if it was, it definitely fallen off to some degree. So huge thanks to Jeff for this beer. Thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Until the next one, cheers.